Aquarius, we have your February 2026 horoscopes coming up here. Let's see what you got. Aquarius, February 2026. Let's see. Cards are getting a little stiff here. Let me see. February 2026 for my Aquariuses. Let's see what we got going on for the collective. And remember, take what resonates, leave what does not. This reading is not going to be for everyone, and that is okay. It just works out like that sometimes. All right. Aquarius, what do I got for you guys February 2026? I think that you guys have been working pretty hard on your goals. There's a lot of things you're trying to achieve, whether it's like college or school. Maybe you guys are considering going back to school, some career type of forward momentum and movement and goal that you have set up here. There's a lot of talk about goals, 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 goals. And I think that, it's great. Your hard work is definitely going to pay off. But I think that you guys are kind of narrowing your goals down a little bit, like too hyper specific. Which, getting specific about what we want and what it is we're working towards obviously is good and it can be important. But I think that you guys are kind of shorting yourself a little bit here with like how specific you are, how focused you are. And I think you're closing yourself off to new potential like ideas and new potential goals that you could be adding here also. Like I feel like the best way to explain this is I feel like there's multiple things that are kind of going hand in hand with each other that you could really look at the same time, where it's like on your one path to achieve one goal, there is another goal that's like almost pretty equal to that or very similar. And like you can kind of do like it's almost like kill two birds with one stone. But you can only do that if you like kind of like broaden your horizons here, like open up your viewpoint and your thinking about, whatever it is the goals that you're achieving, It's like again, like say we're going back to school, and this might not be everyone's goal here, but say we're talking about schoolwork and going back to school and it's like you're so focused on like this is what I need. This is the curriculum. This and that. I'm going to follow the standards and blah blah blah. But it's like, for your elective class or other things, there's other skills in there. There's other classes you can be taking at the same time, like instead of just like a basic regular like this is the standard, this is the go-to we do, there's other things that you could be taking that like provide you more tools. They provide you a bigger skill set than what it is, that whatever it is that you're looking at right now, right? And I think that you can kind of make yourself a little stuck in your progress and in your goals because you're like being so tunnel visioned here and so focused. Like I see you guys really focusing on the end and the goal and the finish line. And that's great. We want to be future forward. We want to be looking towards your goals and your accomplishments and like what it is that you need to be getting, when you get there. But I feel like you're not really enjoying the journey. And again, you're kind of missing other things and other opportunities of like, hey, there's this skill set you could be picking up. Hey, there's this opportunity you have here. Hey, what about this? What about that? Because you're just so focused and so set in your way that it's just not even in your field of view. It's almost like the horse, like the race horses with the blinders on. So that way they're not distracted by the other horses or the people, like whatever it is. Like I kind of see you guys having these blinders on and you're just focused on the end, focused on the finish line. And you're not even realizing, like, hey, I have this thing over here on my right, and then I got this guy on my left here. I should kind of like take a look at those. I could see what's going on. So I think this month of February for you guys, I'm with Mercury retrograde coming up. That Mercury retrograde is a time to slow down. And I feel like this is a big message for you guys. And it's correlating and it's lining up with Mercury and retrograde here, where, this is a time for you to slow down, still keep your end goals in sight, still focus on what it is that you want to achieve and complete, but slow down. Like, what are you rushing for? Where's the race against time? Like, why? I don't feel like you guys have that. I don't feel like this is like life or death where, if you don't complete it in the next 2 months or whatever your goal is the year, you're going to crumble and die and waste away. Like, that's not going to happen. Take your time, enjoy your journey, enjoy, the process that you're currently dealing with and handling. And I think that, in being able to do that, you're going to get more enjoyment out of the journey, because right now it just feels so work heavy, so, focus heavy, like study heavy, like whatever it is. You're just so focused on the hard work, the hard work, the hard work. But it's like, are you even having fun? Are you having a good time? I feel stressed. I feel like you guys are very stressed. I feel like, um, there really isn't room for enjoyment. And it should be fun. Your life should be fun. This journey of moving forward and achieving these great things that you're setting up and these goals that you have should be a lot of fun. And it should be something that you're looking forward to doing and making memories on. And, when you look back 5 years in time from now, after you've succeeded and you've achieved your goal, you don't want it to be like, oh my God, that was the hardest thing I ever had to do. Like I suffered, like you're suffering for no reason. Okay. If that makes sense. Like the suffering really isn't necessary. Kind of let up a little bit. Take in your surroundings, take in your environment. Look at what is nearby that, you could be having fun with, but also gaining skills, also gaining lessons, also gaining tools and resources. Really get specific. Again, you're specific in your goals and what you want, but like I think you need to be more intentional about how you navigate this and about how you handle this. So take February to slow down, take a break, look at the big picture, think at all your options, think of everything, step back into the power of, your own plans and your own mindset. Cause I feel like, I don't want to say it feels like a runaway train, but in a way it kind of does. I feel like you're conducting it, you're on it, but I just feel like the train's just going and going and going and you can't stop it. So let's try to pump the brakes, change the track, slow it down a little bit. And remember, like, you're in charge. You're the conductor. You can navigate things how you want it to go. You can move things how you need it to move for you, to make it better and to make it more enjoyable. So there really is no reason to suffer, Aquarius. There's really not. So I wish you guys good luck with that. And remember to have fun.